there are a few things that we always cherished about the education at INSOFE. For example, we wanted our faculty to be able to bring out their experience and customize the classroom based on the questions and doubts raised by the students. We may plan to teach something, but the student may ask certain questions, and based on our experience, we'll bring in a real life case study into the classroom, align it, and make it much more worthwhile. Secondly, we wanted a very small group interaction to be feasible, a high faculty to student ratio. In fact, we actually strive for 1:10 faculty student ratio. So when we decided to go online, we couldn't compromise on these fundamental bases on which INSOFE education is built. For us, online was a medium that we could use to teach to people at any place at certain convenient times. It didn't mean we wanted to teach large number of students at a given time. Online for us was not MOOC. Online was another medium where we could teach adhering to these principles that I mentioned. So INSOFE's live programs have the same qualities and principles that are part of INSOFE's classroom education. First thing first, they are live, which means a real faculty member is conducting the class in real time. These are not recorded lectures. So the students can ask questions and the faculty can address and customize the classroom as per the students' requirements. Secondly, we even online maintain a 1:10 faculty-student ratio, and we conduct focus group mentoring sessions. So the students can ask questions, clear their doubts, and get the same value that they are getting from a classroom education. However, we needed to make a couple of changes. In offline, our classrooms are 8 hours long and 2 days every week. That is 16 hours a week. But we now know online, the attention spans are smaller. In a classroom, you take breaks, you talk to your neighbors. In online, you sit in front of the terminal and you are learning. It's a lot more intense. So our session length came down. It's only 2 hours at a time and 4 sessions a week. So the total meeting time per week is only 8 hours. There's half of what we do in classroom session. So the duration of the program has gone up from 6 to 10 hours for our PGP live, and accordingly other programs also, the duration changes. But per week it is 8 hours, or per session more importantly, it's only 2 hours. Of course, online also saves us travel and saves us classroom kind of costs. And hence the fee for online programs is typically, we have decided to transfer all those savings to the students. So the fee for online programs typically is 75% of that of classroom programs. So that is PGP Live for you. Real time, faculty, exactly same classes with same high faculty student ratio, smaller meeting sessions. By the way, I found live classrooms, like in real physical classrooms, we take a lot of time providing the feedback to the student. So the student gets exactly how they are performing, how it compares with others, and what areas they can improve in terms of easy to understand reports every week. And the faculty conduct one-on-one sessions to ensure that those students who are having difficulty following the classes, they work with them to ensure that they will catch up. So the live feedback, not exactly live, but every week the feedback that you get about your attendance, about your participation, about your performance is again going to be invaluable. live the most recognized certification program in the world. Why I say that? Perhaps this is the only certification program whose credits are accepted as 50% of the coursework needed for master's programs in Europe, in USA, and in Canada. We have university partners that accept the credits that you earn in our PGP Live as 50% of their coursework. I don't think any other certification program anywhere in the world has this distinction. That is the kind of rigor, quality that we brought in our PGP program. Let me explain what goes in the program. First, who is it aimed at? This program is aimed at a IT engineer or a database engineer or a software engineer who wants to become a data scientist. And what is data science? Data science is a field that uses mathematical models to extract useful insights from data. So you extract these insights and businesses then use those insights to do better business. Data scientists are the key personnel who do that task. They take the data, they extract these insights. It is an engineering discipline. You have to work with data, you have to work with models, you have to get the insights, share it. So this is a hands-on engineering program for IT engineers, software engineers, database engineers, systems engineers to transform into data scientists. So the point is, this is not a management program. This is an engineering program. We have other management programs that I will talk in some other videos. But if you are not interested in doing hands-on coding and engineering, probably this is not the right program for you. This is a very hands-on program. And why study and transform into a data scientist? Let me address that. We work with around 500 plus companies in recruitment, etc. And typically companies conduct 5 interviews per day for our students. Based on those statistics, we notice that a data scientist roughly gets 50 to 100% higher salary than a IT engineer of same experience, whichever level you look. So data science is immensely high demand profession and aimed at regular engineers to transform into data scientists. Now the question is, if I am an electronics engineer, can I then become a data scientist? As long as you are willing to code and become hands-on, I think any discipline can transform into a data scientist. Electronics engineering, BSc in physics, MSc in chemistry, management, commerce, you need to be willing to code and build models and get hands-on. Great. Now, what exactly you learn in this course? 15 to 16 credits of coursework is involved in getting a PGP certification. Initially, you will start with core data science modules. So we start you with basic statistics and probability. So we start with mean, median, mode, take you all the way to linear regression, logistic regression, time series, modeling, building stuff, all the cool things. And simultaneously, you will also learn programming or Python, Tableau, and essentials of big data. You have a later point, you learn how to deploy models on large data. But those are the things. And then after doing statistics and programming, you move to machine learning modules, where you learn several algorithms that are extremely popular, that are used in industry to extract these patterns from data. Decision trees, k-nearest neighbors, support vector machines, all the important modules. And then you learn foundations of artificial intelligence, neural networks and what they do and how you build them on structured data. So the core technical education consists of statistics, engineering, and machine learning algorithms and foundations of AI. And optimization is another module that you learn during foundations of artificial intelligence. And then we are probably amongst the very few institutes who understand how to actually apply all this in real world, because we are constantly involved in consulting and R&D, right? So we designed a module, a business module called Design Thinking for Data Scientists, where you actually learn how to take a business problem, translate it into a data science problem, define the right data strategy, define the right performance metrics, productionization strategy, and actually take it to life. And you also learn a bit about the way you build web-based architectures, etc. The AI application architectures, etc. So that completes your core education, core machine learning, core business model. Then you get into specialization tracks. At INSOFE, we offer 4 specialization tracks: a track in big data, a track in NLP, a track in computer vision, and a track in robotics and autonomous vehicles. Every PGP student must take at least 2 of these 4 tracks. 2 tracks you must complete. Once you complete all of this, you will have completed the coursework at PGP, at INSOFE for the PGP. And as I mentioned, these several masters, I think 11 masters and a PhD program, as for half of their coursework. And then, by the way, during the coursework, there's going to be a lot of evaluations. You will do around 30 plus quizzes, 5 examinations, 2 hackathons. So it's a very rigorous program. You learn a lot. And then you move to a boot camp where you focus on building a model on a real life situation. We give you a problem and we team you up, and you have to build a model, deploy it, and demonstrate. And you have a small competition where you compete with your classmates to get the highest accuracy, etc. Some engineering metrics, right? So the program is core data science modules, core business module, 2 specialization tracks, and a boot camp. Once you complete all of that, you get PGP Live. PGP Live is a 10-month program. So roughly by the end of 3 months, you will have learned statistics and programming. You can take a data, extract insights, build simple models. By the end of 6 or 7 months, you will have become very comfortable building machine learning models, AI models on structured data, and make some interesting forecasting and predictions. By the end of the 10th month, you will have transformed fully into a data scientist, where you can take unstructured text, image, structured databases, build models, deploy, and extract insights. Okay, so that is the transition phase, and it's a very well thought out, highly recognized, globally recognized certification. See, a data scientist is someone who can take large volumes of data, use mathematical models to extract some patterns from it, and share it with the business so that the business uses it and makes right decisions. So data scientists help business users take better decisions and make more money, run the business better. However, data science of late has become extremely powerful. So people, organizations are not only looking at people who can are not only looking at using data science as a tool to take better decisions, they started viewing data science as a way to automate tasks. Hey, you know what? Can I build a car that can drive itself? It's not about giving a better judgment for the driver. I just want to drive it automatically. Can I build a recommendation engine on Amazon that actually looks at how the customer clicks and makes a better recommendation? No human is involved here, right? Can I actually build a drone and a robotic system that can perform a surgery? Ooh. So there's a lot of demand for automation. Now, the difference between data scientists and this, by the way, this automation, this kind of smart automation goes with the 2 names, computational data science or AI specialists. So the fundamental difference between a data scientist and an AI specialist is A data scientist extracts the data and gives it to a human for better judgments. A AI specialist extracts the insights from the data and shares them with machines to help them do tasks better. Now, that means an AI specialist needs to work on scaling applications at a much larger magnitude than a data scientist. See, after I collect the data, if I'm sharing it with a human, probably I share with 50 people, 20 people at a given time. But with machines, the machines could be anywhere in the world and they could be serving millions of people. So scaling and deploying these data science models is of a different order of magnitude in the case of an AI specialist. Interestingly, in the past year, there has been a much higher demand for AI specialists. As I mentioned in the last video, data scientists make anywhere between 50 to 100% higher than regular IT engineers of same experience. AI specialists make anywhere between 50 to 100% higher than a data scientist of same experience. So the corporate partners asked us, hey, you know what, can you create this AI specialization programs? Can you actually help our data scientists become AI specialists? So we have designed a program which we call PGP Honors in Data Science. And thrillingly, we found two extremely able partners to work with us. One is Indian Institute of Technology, Roper. This is an IIT, one of the fastest growing IITs in India, has decided to work with INSOFE to offer this program. The other one is Canadian and Indian Center of Excellence. This is a academic group started in Carleton University, Canada, one of the top public universities in Canada, and the Indian Embassy constituted this, and they, through them, the Carleton University, have partnered with us. So this is a co-taught, co-certified by 3 world-class institutions program, PGP Honors. Okay, as I mentioned, PGP Honors students should learn data science, should also learn computer science. So this is, as I mentioned in my previous video, anyone who is interested in learning to code and who is interested in learning to apply models can do data science. But PGP Honors, on the other hand, is for much more proficient. PGP Honors requires much more proficient programming. So you should be loving software coding. You should be loving to build enterprise grade applications. That is when you will actually make the best contributions in your PGP Honors program. And your goal should be not just becoming a data scientist, you should be willing to become an AI specialist or a researcher in AI and machine learning. So data science is about applying data science in any business. There are excellent opportunities. AI specialization is a more involved computer science applications in AI. If your interest is in research, if your interest is in scaling, deploying large scale automation applications. So AI specialization requires more computer science knowledge. As a result, this is how we designed our PGP Honors program. In our PGP Honors, you do the entire PGP live. To learn more about it, watch the PGP live video that I have here. In addition, you take 44 hours of computer science teaching, where we teach you how to build enterprise grade AI applications and how to architect enterprise grade AI applications. So you learn a lot more computer science. 44 hours is roughly 3 credits program you learn in computer science. Then the boot camp you do as PGP Honors focuses a lot more on scaling and deploying large scale applications. So you take an application, take a data, build a model, but then deploy it on and containerize it and deploy it on cloud, on-prem, and serve on a simulated environment to millions of students. Right. So the A part of PGP Honors, of course, you do entire PGP data science. A part of PGP Honors is about taking that experience in learning how to build large scale applications. Another part of the PGP Honors program is research. We then give you a research problem. We take a paper that is one of the most important contributions in the field, and you will learn what is told in that paper, build that system, test it on much larger data sets, and validate the hypothesis. So we train you in the research processes of AI and machine learning. So during that time, we also teach you quantitative research methods. How do you actually go about doing research and study and end up writing a thesis that is an immense contribution to the field? So you do PGP data science, which is very, very extensive. Then you take 2 additional tracks simultaneously. In one track, you learn building enterprise scale applications and building a boot camp where you actually hands-on build a scalable application. Then you take up a thesis problem, learn how to do quantitative research and do the research and put together a thesis and publish it, present it. So PGP Honors is a combination of data science, computer science, and research skills. And hence, at the end, you are in highest demand from some of the top AI companies that have top AI research labs, product development labs. But yeah, you should be interested in building high scalable, deployable models. Okay, that is a lot more coding than PGP in data science. So if you haven't made up your mind on whether you love coding as much or not, but want to transform into a data scientist, do PGP Live. If you know you love coding, you want to build enterprise automation systems, go for PGP Honors. In terms of fee, it is not much of difference. You learn in terms of time. PGP is 10 months, PGP Honors is 11 months. So yeah, you spend a bit longer, 11 and a half months, a bit longer, not a whole lot longer. In terms of fee, PGP is 2.45 lakhs and PGP Honors is 3.75 lakhs. So there is a 1 lakh difference here and there. By the way, both programs offer you eligibility to win merit scholarships to the tune of, in PGP Honors, 25,000 rupees scholarship, merit scholarships are available for every candidate. We just want you to score 70% in the midterm, or we want you to upfront score 70% in the entrance examination to become eligible for scholarship. And in PGP Honors, the scholarship is a bit more. Again, I think roughly 35,000. Again, you can earn it upfront by scoring well in the entrance exam, or in the midterm by scoring well in the midterm. Either of them, based on that, you can win. So financially, there's not much difference between both programs. And time-wise, there's not much difference between both programs. What you should help you decide is your interest. Do you want to get into industry, build decision support systems, not too much into coding, the software engineering, etc.? Go for PGP Live in data science. You love coding, building enterprise applications, want to push yourself, do thesis, research, etc.? Go for PGP Honors. Introduce you to a new paradigm and new flavor, which is known as data science and X. Okay, X here could be any discipline. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about learning 2 things together to make your education much more meaningful. Let me explain what it is. Until 5 years back, data science was a specialization in computer science. You studied computer science, then you went for a master's where you picked up machine learning, and nowadays they call it data science. And that's great. There are lots of opportunities. But in the past 5 years, data science itself has transformed from a specialization of computer science to a fundamental way of solving problems. In engineering, you use the first principles of physics and chemistry to solve problems. In business, you use debates, discussions, elicit knowledge to solve problems. in data science, you take a lot of past data and extract knowledge to solve problems. So data science, like physics, like discussions, consulting, is a fundamental way of solving problems. Then, whenever I want to solve problems, why can't I use data science? That paradigm is becoming extremely popular. So I'm a mechanical engineer. Some problems I solve using my fundamental mechanical engineering. Some problems I use solving data science approaches. Hey, I am a retail business guy. Yeah, some problems I solve using consulting. Some problems I solve using data science. Whatever is your discipline, data science, like physics, like consulting, is a way of solving problems. Which means every professional, every educated person should learn that flavor of data science. And INSOFE is one of the pioneers to recognize this. And we created a variety of postgraduate programs. But there was one small hitch here. INSOFE is focused on teaching, learning, researching data science. But these programs obviously require another discipline also. So we told ourselves, hey, let us do what we do best, which is data science. Let us find partners who teach the other part well, right? So at INSOFE, we have designed multiple programs. A bunch of programs which I already talked about is data science for the sake of data science, where we teamed up with IIT Roper, we teamed up with Carleton University to create data science, computer science programs. The second flavor we have is data science and engineering. So we tied up with Case Western Reserve University and designed programs, MS in Mechanical Engineering and Data Science, MS in Civil and Environmental Engineering and Data Science, MS in Biomedical Engineering and Data Science. So those of you who want to build healthcare applications can do MS in Biomedical Engineering and Data Science. Those of you who want to build robots, drones, autonomous vehicles can do MS in Mechanical Engineering and Data Science. Those of you who like construction, petrochemical industry, environment, measuring the pollutions, you can building better environment, you can do data science plus civil and environmental engineering. So how do these programs work? At INSOFE, you learn data science. Then you go to US, you learn mechanical engineering principles or biomedical engineering principles in Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, which is one of the top 20 private universities in the United States. Has more than 17 Nobel laureates from the campus. And people who wrote Google search engine, one of the fundamental architects, they are alumni of Case Western. So one of the top universities in the world. You go there, you do your engineering education there, and then you get your 3 years of OPT, and you continue, you work there, and then you build your global career in data science. So for those of you who want to retain your core engineering and master data science, now what will you be? You will be able to solve problems in 2 different ways, and you will be a super engineer. Similarly, those of you who want to do a management degree, postgraduate diploma in management, or a business and data analytics management, we tied up with 2 institutes, one in India and one in France. In India, we tied up with IFIM, which is a top 20 B school in India. In France, we tied up with Rennes School of Business, which is one of the 90 institutes in the world, B schools in the world, to be triple crowned by AMBA, ASCSB, and EQUIS. And there is only one institute in India that is triple crowned, IIM Calcutta. So this is one of the top B schools in the world. So again, the model is very similar. We teach data science at INSOFE, and then the students go to either IFIM in India or Rennes in France and study the rest of management education at those institutes. And then you continue to work as, if you go to Rennes, you will work in Europe as a data science manager. And if you studied in IFIM, you work as a manager in India. So we have engineering programs, we have pure data science, computer science programs, we have engineering and data science programs, we have business and data science programs. So whether your interest is programming, whether your interest is management, whether your interest is core engineering, you will be able to top it up with this highly relevant data science education so that you will be a much better problem solver. You know two ways of solving problems, not just one, right? That's why there is huge demand. And for INSOFE, it's an honor that such world-class institutions, Case Western Reserve, IIT Roper, Carleton, REN, IFIM, all believe in the quality of INSOFE's data science education and partnered and approved our program as their first semester, half of their credits. And we offer these programs. You know what? You focus on your core business, which is supply chain, sending goods all over the world, or selling retail products if you're an Amazon, or if you're a hospital treating patients. Whereas I will focus on your auxiliary tasks. I will create a finance support system. I'll create a HR support system. I will create your shopping cart. So the idea is you do your core. I do your support services. So then the entire business negotiation is, hey, you know what, if I get it done in US itself, I will probably spend $30 per hour. What is the deal you can give? You know what, I can give you at $20 per hour because I pay much less in India or wherever. Okay, so hey, you know what, that other guy came and he said he will give at $19. Okay, then I will give at $18. So this whole thing is a very transactional engagement. The most of IT consulting and services are fairly transactional. So you actually spend that, your negotiation is on how to minimize the cost. But in data science, your pitch is very different. You go to a retailer and tell, hey, you know what, I will help you how to sell better. Oh, how do you do that? Do you know enough about retail? I don't know, buddy, but I will look at your past data, understand who is buying what, understand when you are selling more, understand what you are selling with more with what else, and figure out how you can sell 5%. Oh, today I sell $1 million a month. That is 12 million a year, and you can increase it by 5%. That is $600,000. That's interesting. Tell me how much you want. Whether you need 50 hours or 100 hours to solve that problem, it doesn't matter. You are adding $500,000 to the top line of the company. So the negotiation is on the value. Negotiation is not on the time. So data science projects talk about making the core processes, core decisions, core operations much better. And hence, the customer engages in a value-driven discussion and is willing to pay a lot more to the client, to the consulting agency. AI is one step above, right? You are telling, hey, I am going to help you do things that you never did before. You go to a hospital and tell, hey, you know what? That operation involved spending 20 hours of the time of a cardiologist. And hence, in a year, you are able to only serve 50 patients. You know what? I am going to build these automated tools, robots and drones that will bring down the doctor's time from 20 hours to 5 hours, which means you can actually now do 200 patients. Oh, I never was thinking that this could be feasible. Good, tell me. This is a game changer. Okay, whatever you want. So that is the advantage that data science and AI bring to the table. They either help the client engage in a value-driven discussion, or they make the client engage in approaches that they thought were never feasible. And hence, the client is willing to pay a lot more to your employer. And your employer is obviously willing to find the best guys who can do it and pay that much more to them. So there's no magic here. Why your employer is willing to pay 50% more to data scientists compared to a regular IT engineers, because regular IT engineers are solving service problems, data scientists are enhancing the core value. Why he is willing to pay even more to an AI specialist? You know what? It's not even about core value. You're creating new dimensions of business for my customer. I'm willing to pay. That is the reason why these fields get paid. Another question I get is, how long will this bubble burst? Hey, how long will the desire to run business better last? Well, forever. How long will an entrepreneur want to figure out new ways of doing their business better? Okay, forever. So these are not some gimmicks that we are bringing into the system. These are fundamental ways of living better. This is a fundamental way of thinking and executing better. So in the foreseeable future, these will have the highest possible demand. If there is a pandemic, there is going to be enormous demand in healthcare, in financial institutions, in agriculture, in using data science. You still need to figure out how to cultivate, and you better figure out how to automate your cultivation. You need to figure out how to treat your patients. Better figure out how to treat 10 times more patients with 1/10 of doctors, because that is constrained. Right? You need to figure out how to support the economy a lot more efficiently during these operations. You need to figure out how to build high-tech industry, bring down the cost of networking and communications. Whether there is a recession, whether there is a pandemic, whether the world is back to its normalcy, a better way of doing things will never go out of demand. So this is not a gimmick. This is there to stay, right? I hope now you understand when we say data scientists get paid high, you know why they get paid.